Yeah, nah, that had to stop. All right, so let me tell you what's going on. We are here live real time. It is 8:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Jesus Ramos, oh my bad, here he is right here, just stopped Jeison Rosario, former unified champion, in round number 8. TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. I feel good being back. We're covering the David Benavidez versus David Morrell card. Up next is Esau Cruz's fight, then Figueroa versus Fulton 2, and then of course the main event, Benavidez versus Morrell. So I haven't done any pre-fight promotion for this fight, but I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing. By the way, this was the most sustained ass whooping that Jeison Rosario has got his entire career. Now, he's been stopped 4 times, as you can see. And usually when he gets stopped, he be in agony. Now, I thought he was going to go down from some body shots because this is the most sustained body attack that he's ever had. So, for example, let me show you this right here. Remember when during COVID, Jamel Charlo stopped him, and then he got, and it was a stiff ass jab to the body. And then I remember Derek James was like, damn, he says, so anyway, moving on. He just got stopped here. Here we are, nearly 6 years later. And another thing, here's another interesting fact. I interviewed Jeison Rosario before and after he beat J-Rock Williams. That's me. That's me in the back. So the point is, this is not a blast from the past time, but the point is, I've been watching the guy for a long time, and it's just that he's cooked. Let's listen in. We're going to talk a little bit more. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Made it sure it was normal for Jeison Rosario. Let's go back into the ring now with Brian.
I am so glad we got Brian Campbell
here with the victorious
over Joe Goosen arguing with everybody, bitter old man.
in the judges' hands this time around. How good does this feel?
It feels great. I was hoping to get a knockout, instead of TKO, but anything works. And I'm just glad me and my opponent were able to get out of this safe. We were able to compete and just go home to our families. That's the most important thing.
You targeted him relentlessly to the body from the opening. How big of that strategy was that for you coming in?
It was a big strategy. I like to throw a lot of body punches. It's kind of my style. But I wanted to break him down. He was a lot bigger. It's my first time fighting at 160. So I wanted to take my time with it as well.
He ain't look bigger in there.
Straight win since the first loss of your career, a disputed one at that. What's next for Jesus Ramos?
I want to go back to 154 and fight the best of the 154 division. We have a lot of talent, and I'm looking to make the big fights.
Congratulations. Back to ringside and more, Ronaldo.
So this was pretty much like a statement. I kind of figured that. And here's the thing. I was never a fan of the fight when it was announced, even though I haven't done any pre-fight content. We're going to try to get back on that. Still, I've been following the whole card. I've been watching everything. I mean, for the long-time viewers, you know how I am. Even though you may not see me doing videos, I'm watching, reading all the articles, watching all the interviews. I'm in the loop. So when it first got announced, I was like, but then I saw it was like, all right, it's the opener of the pay-per-view. Jesus Ramos, he's one of the, I don't want to say rare, but one of the PBC fighters that actually gets his 2 fights a year outside of last year. And there's been this trend with a lot of PBC fighters. When they lose a fight, they go on like a year layoff or close to it or whatever, but in this case, wasn't a full year between Johan before Erickson Lubin. Okay. Well, basically, he didn't get 2 fights a year in 2024. Now, he's only 23 years old, and I'm still shocked at that. So he's still got time. But I feel when fighters are his age, they should be fighting at least 3 times a year. I think all fighters should be fighting at least, the champions too, fighting 3 times a year. Really 4, like whatever happened to that. But point being, is that for a PBC fighter, he's been getting his 2 fights a year outside of 2024. But the Rosario fight, I always thought was a step backwards. By the way, there go Joe Goosen right there with Brian Custer. I missed the Brian Custer podcast. But the Rosario fight, unified champion or not, it all depends on how you look at Julian J. Rock Williams. T-Street got nothing but love for Philly, man, from Philly, but we got to call it what it is. I was never high on J-Rock Williams. And when he got knocked out by Jamal Charlo, we should have saw that coming, because the first time, didn't Jamal drop him with a jab? And it's like, that should give you a sign right there, is that, like, dude got some power. But anyway, moving on, Rosario went on to lose to Jamal Charlo. He was pretty much sacrificed to him. You know, that was a political fight to get Charlo hands on those belts. He went on to get knocked out by Lubin. Then he's got some wins in the Dominican Republic to rebuild up some confidence. Brian Mendoza, who went on to fight Tim Tszyu, and Sebastian Fundora, got knocked out by him. You know, Jarrett Hurd, and I guess, what does this say about Jarrett Hurd, by the way? And has he been back since? His story is pretty fucked up. Like how he just was so hot and then just fizzled out. So yeah, like Rosario's done, man, and he was getting his ass beat to the body. I'm talking about tenderized. So I'm surprised that him with the jelly belly didn't get knocked out by body shots. But you hear Ramos say he wanted the body shots. But anyway, let's go look at the rankings and let's see. Where's my rankings list at? Where are you at, rankings? Where are you at, rankings? Where are you at? There you go. Let's go see here at 154. What do we got here? So he's saying he want to go back down to 154. Erickson Lubin's in the purse bid to be the mandatory for the IBF. I mean, he's going to be fighting on ProBox TV, YouTube, by the way. So look how many PBC fighters are now being outsourced everywhere. Even Sergey Limpinets fought Adam Azim on Boxer today. Sky Sports, that's the promotional outfit over in the UK called Boxer with 2 X's for those who don't know. But when we look at Jesus Ramos, he needs something significant. By the way, here are the punch stats. 219 to 59 landed. 164 to 40 landed of power shots. 55 of 87. By the way, Ramos got a nice little jab. He's not just a pressure fighter, power puncher. He's got some skill with him. And the body shots, my goodness. He just was whooping him. But anyway, the Isaac Cruz fight is about to start, so let's wrap this shit up. So, Fundora's supposed to be returning. He got bullshitted around by Errol Spence, and basically he lost out on a Tim Tszyu rematch. Tim Tszyu went on to lose to Bakr Murtazaliev, and then also lost out on a big money fight with Terrence Crawford. So now he's going to be fighting Cordell Booker, is the rumor, on a regular Amazon Prime show, likely in some small venue. So I know that Fundora, because he said it in the post-fight press conference after he beat Tim Tszyu, is that he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford, but his team was, they wanted Errol Spence, and we even saw that Errol Spence was in the ring. But anyway, back to Ramos. Let me stop getting, who does he fight next? It has to be something significant. Now, 154 is kind of top heavy, but if the Saudis get their hands on him, can we see him versus Josh Kelly? It's somewhat meaningful, and it'll knock Josh Kelly out of, because I would pick Ramos out. Or, does he go after the winner or loser of Madrimov and Virgil Ortiz? Then you got Bahuchuk out there, who wants the winner of Madrimov, Bahuchuk. Bakr Murtazaliev is supposed to have some news coming up. You think Jesus Ramos can get up in there? Bakr Murtazaliev is a Kathy Duva main event fighter. So, the question is Main Event is a dying on life support promotional company. Can PBC give them the money? Do they even have it to keep Bakr Murtazaliev and his team on board, or will they go with the Saudis as well? Remember, Klimas is his manager. He manages Loma, Denise Baranchek, Usyk. So, they may be gone from PBC. And what can PBC offer them unless it's Fundora? But when it comes to the money, the Saudis have it. So once again, as I'm looking at these rankings here, I'm trying like politically what makes sense. Golden Boy, Jesus Ramos, him and Charles Conwell on a Saudi card. Tim Tszyu going to be fighting Joey Spencer. Xander Zayas, I don't see Ramos Xander Zayas. It's possible. Anything's possible these days with the Saudis. You see what I'm saying? But who realistically? The Lubin rematch, I don't think Lubin would take it when he can get his title shot first and then call the shots over Ramos. Well, anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Let's see what happens with Eastside Cruz. Worst fight on the card, by the way, his. In my opinion, I don't... isn't the guy he's fighting a smaller fighter? Let me go look at this real quick before I watch this fight. Hold on. Where's my event at? I remember when I saw this fight being announced, I was like, it's something fishy. Isn't this guy a smaller fighter? No, he's not. Okay, let's see how this works out. Who did he beat to get here? He beat somebody. Have I seen him fight before? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy. The links to my social media are right down below in the description box.